two abandoned bridges that there's no plan in sight to replace that infrastructure. We're just going to walk away from the investment. 5 to 10 mile an hour speeds at bridges and tunnels, 15 mile an hour speeds door to door. Two major tunnels have been flooded. Acts of God, maybe some errors on the human side of this. I'm not going to get into that debate, but 50-year-old cast iron pipe is probably going to burst. And we've got things out there that are 50 to 70 years old. And the bridge behind my house in Suffolk was 70 going on 80 years old. And I can remember taking Phil Chiquette there and walking and riding underneath of that bridge, and you just would not believe how badly that bridge had deteriorated. Just like the Jordan Bridge, it was just a rust bucket. That's the state of transportation. Folks, my parting comment is, I just don't see this as progress. I think our ability and willingness to invest in the future, the future of our transportation system has withered. And quite frankly, I'm not sure what's in store for me next, but I've been in this business for 35 plus years, and I never thought it would come to this.
A little bit about Virginia. We are the third largest road network in the country. Only Texas and North Carolina have more roads than we do. That's about 69,500 roads. 7,000 still remain unpaved in Virginia. So to add a little bit about your, we still have quite a few. So it's just not Hampton Roads that has infrastructure issues. He mentioned the bridges, and I know Mike may say more about this, but it's $3.7 billion just to repair our bridges in Virginia. Not replace, to repair the deficiencies that we know about right now. So it is just not Hampton Roads. Although I will say that Hampton Roads is probably the most infrastructure dependent area on the East Coast, if not in the country. Because as you all know, you can't go anywhere without going over a major bridge or a tunnel. And that's one of the problems we face in revenue. Dwight gave you some of the total numbers of what we need for infrastructure investment. None of our projects are small. We don't, you know, if you get allocated $100 million, that doesn't do a lot for us. So I just want to give you that little bit of overview as we go through, talk a little bit to you about revenue. And not just so much the numbers, but the position it puts us in terms of dealing with our problems.
Now, how does this affect all of us as citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia? It's estimated that we lose $1,000 per motorist in lost productivity and extra repair costs, which is, in other words, we're paying the extra $150 in gas tax. We're just paying it in loss of productivity, and that's happening on a continuing and accelerating basis. Less time to spend with our families. Frankly, my wife doesn't seem to mind that much. But I don't have much of a commute, and I know for young people who may have to be traveling from far suburbs, that's a major issue. Secondly, you can't plan. I mean, you know, a trip that normally takes 25 minutes might end up taking an hour, or if you have to go to Hampton, it might take 2 hours. Speaking of Hampton, I'm seeing a re-balkanization of Hampton Roads. Those of you that benefited when we became Hampton Roads, and the area began to it used to be 2 different metropolitan areas in the SMSA that the federal government puts together. As a result of being one metropolitan area, we are the 36th, maybe we're 34th now, I'm not sure, largest metropolitan area in the country, and that means big companies looked at us. That's why in the late 80s we started to get the big national department stores when we used to have just local department stores. Well, now businesses can't serve the peninsula and serve Southside. Or if they do, their trucks have to operate at night. So we're seeing a split again between Southampton Roads and the peninsula, which bodes ill for us in economic development.